Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to be joined with Belinda with her fantastic movie, Amend. Let's take a look at the clip.
Sorry, miss. I don't know your name.
Rachel.
That's a nice name. Mine's not really LeBron, by the way. It's Jack. So, where's your husband?
My husband?
My aunt used to wear her wedding ring around her neck when she wanted to kiss other men.
Well, I was married, and now I'm not.
That's sad. I'm sorry. Can I watch TV?
Belinda, thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the New Filmmakers LA family.
Thank you. I'm happy to be a part of it.
I am really, personally, really happy that you made this film. A film that is so incredibly difficult to watch, but such an amazing film. And thank you so much, for creating it, your performance, and making this something that is a significant problem in the world, like on the screen from this perspective. For you, Belinda, it's hard to say because there's reality here, but where did the inspiration come for you in creating this story?
I think it's something that I've always, like many people, found shocking, gun violence. But being from another country where we don't have the same problem, I'm from Australia. Mm-hmm. Hi, Sydney. And then I've lived here for 14 years, and it was something that obviously instilled a lot of fear in me, mm-hmm. because it was something that I hadn't really had to think about before. And I was getting very passionate about those issues. And then I came across an article with survivors of several school shootings. And it really made me stop and think for the first time about the people that survive, because they're called the lucky ones, and they're lucky to be here. But the things they've seen and their trauma they've been through, for some of them, they never really get their life back. And there's a high suicide rate. And reading their stories, I was just like, we're not really paying attention to them as well. Yeah. And they do need our attention. I mean, some of this trauma is like they went to war, like they're veterans and they just went to school or they went to the supermarket. So it really came from this need to express this thing, but though I am very political about it, I didn't want it to be a political film. I just wanted people to feel what it must be like.
Absolutely, and I think it was just, what was so special about the film is that it was actually a reality experience from an emotional standpoint. Like, I'm sure anyone that whatever they went through would be feeling this desperate kind of pain, and trauma and PTSD. It's very hard because, I think we both come from places where both had mass shootings and then we got rid of guns and it was over. And we've not had one since either place. And it's hard because I love this country so much, and yet, I hate seeing the suffering that goes on in schools and the teachers, and it's unnecessary. What was it like when you kind of wrote this film, and then who you wanted to, take on board, like in terms of casting, including yourself, and then directing it, and kind of how did the vision you want to orchestrate this film? Because you made this film in a very special way, and we didn't really know what was happening until we saw these two relationships unfold.
Yeah, so I really came at the script from a place of, I don't want people to really know this woman's full story until the end. I want to see someone moving through grief and disconnection, having this little boy come into her life that kind of pushes her buttons, and I want to take people's breath away at the end. That's my way of telling this story. So I had some key things in place, but I knew I wasn't going to direct it because I'm writing, producing, and acting in basically every scene. So I set about, trying to draw a team together, and spoke to a lot of people, got some leads. Gianna, our wonderful director, I watched her previous films and they really hit me in the same place. I really felt like it translated to the kind of film I wanted this to be. So that became very clear that she would be a great match for this.
Yeah.
And she took to the material straight away as well. And when we were casting, obviously there's not a lot of cast in it, which is good for budget filmmaking. But we knew the little boy was really key to go opposite me. So we just went through the usual casting channels, you know, the breakdown services, and we had so many gorgeous kids doing this audition. But we also felt like we had to have someone that was a little bit older to play a bit younger to kind of hit what we needed with it. And we found Aiden, and we both had a really strong gut instinct about him from the beginning. And he brought the light to the film, and that's just innately in him. He's just this lovely kid with this sense of humor, and that's what we wanted to find in this kid as well, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. And no, I thought the chemistry between both the characters was really, like, I always wanted to see what was going to what happen beyond this film, like, just with that relationship. I think the thing that was always impressive to me is when, you know, you wrote something and then you hand it off, and then you're in it, and then someone's directing you what you wrote. Like, how was that experience for you?
It's such a learning curve, because you have to, people talk about wearing hats, and it is, and you have to know when to let them go. Because as a writer, once you give your script to a director, in any facet, no matter how big or small the project is, it's really it's their baby to mold now. You know, as a writer, you have to, you know, so I really made sure when we were filming that I didn't have a writer cap on as well. It's like the script is here, and it's Gianna's interpretation of that script. And so then I was just a producer and an actor. And then obviously when I was acting, I didn't want to be thinking about the production side, which is why I had some producing partners helping with that, so that during the shoot days, I could just be the actor.
Yeah, speaking of acting though, I mean, luxury that we get to share that perspective in this chair as well. You did a really fantastic job. Like, I spent my whole time watching the film mystified by just what obviously clearly was happening for you. And even you know, it all made sense, you know, once we kind of really found out, and then it was, you kind of left us all in like desperate pain, you know, because you knew the context of like what your character lost, you know, and just how unbearable that must be. How did you work on creating this character? Because you did a really fantastic job for not an easy part.
Thank you. I honestly think one of the things that really helped me, that was unexpected but makes perfect sense, is that because I was with her through the writing process of writing her, and always knowing I wanted to play her, but she was there in me for so long that it was almost like I didn't have to do as much as someone who is given a script and like, take on this character, work out how you're going to develop this character. She was already there for so long. Yeah. And it took me a long time to realize that. And so, I mean, I did my usual sort of acting pre-prep work, but I really found that she just already lived and breathed there. And I actually think that also being the producer helped the acting, because for the first time, I think, on a set, I just had to like let go of like not overthinking anything as an actor, which can be really hard to do because there were too many other things happening. Yeah. And so I just let go more. Yeah. And just trusted she was in me, and she was, and yeah.
And it came out. I mean, it was interesting because I think it was like, I think teachers are very special people, and they obviously have got, the good teachers out there really want to help people and help people learn, but it was almost became clear that she lost part of her meaning of her life because of what happened to her, and we didn't discover that. And then it all was like, oh my goodness, like, what this experience must take away from you. How do you live on? I'm just curious, like, unraveling her, unraveling the story, unraveling the character, being passionate about this particular subject. What did you want your audience to take from your film?
I really wanted to, as I sort of said before, take their breath away so that they could be like, wow, there's people amongst us, and more of them all the time, that have seen things they will never be able to get over, and they're just trying to get through life. And I wanted them to just be like, whoa, this is another way that gun violence affects us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And really hit them with that. And I really wanted to do this teaching perspective because to me it's like, it was interesting that you're not a parent to these kids, but you're the next best thing because they see you every day, all day, 5 days a week. And to lose students, the survivor's guilt that you survived, the fact that they see you as their protector and you couldn't, it brought up so many things of what it must be. And then when you walk away from that tragedy, you're still not being treated like you were a parent. People don't, but you're mourning almost like you're a parent of these 20 kids or however many were in a class. And it was just a perspective I found so interesting.
Absolutely.
And then I wanted to translate that to what if you now couldn't be around children at all?
Yeah.
Because it was too painful.
Yeah, no, I understand. Well, I think, we should never stop fighting for, protecting young people, that they don't deserve to have to go through anything remotely like that. And it's a sad fact, we're still working on that. What is next for you?
I know, I was saying to you earlier today, like I feel like I need to do something lighter at the moment.
Yeah, you poor thing. I know you've had this for 3 years.
And this is because of COVID. This has been in my life for a long time, and so I'm actually writing a feature at the moment that's a road trip, a sisterhood road trip of two sisters, and it's set in 1916, so it's a bit of a period piece as well. So I'm really enjoying.
We don't see many road trips at 1916. That's pretty cool,
right?
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying the process of something that's it's got a little bit more light to it, and it's
you paid your dues. You deserve to do that.
Yeah, but obviously still passionate about this issue, and hoping that more and more people can see the film and take something away from it, something will stay with them,
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure you're always going to do that because, the detail you put into this film, I won't ever forget about it, and I think that's the power to you and the power of the pen and the power to your skills as an actor as well. Well, listen, I'm super excited for that. I can't wait to watch that. I'm like so intrigued already just by the synopsis.
I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, please do. Just to finish on, for all filmmakers out there, it's so hard just to be like, okay, I've got an idea. How do I jump over the line, make something? Like, what kind of advice do you go by? What, as an artist, like, what inspires you to kind of keep that sort of mental creativity going?
I think like one of the biggest things I've learned that would be a tip is like, just do it anyway. Use the saying, feel the fear and do it anyway. But fear can hold us back, or feeling that we don't have all the skills yet, or this was the first major thing I'd produced. And you've just got to do it anyway. Yeah. Because it's the things that scare us that are going to pay off the most. If we're so comfortable with something, well, maybe it's not going to push us. Yeah. And I've learned so much along the way of this film. So I feel like just don't hesitate. Grab the people in your life that can help you make that film, even if you've got barely any money, and just do it anyway. There's nothing to lose, but there's so much to gain. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay, so if you will listen to that, go out and do it. Okay, put that fear away and go and do it. So, listen, thank you so much for Amen. Thank you, Belinda, for being here. Welcome to NewFilmmakers LA family, and really excited for your next project as well. So thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Belinda, everybody.